Hi, nerds. Brandon here.
With Jimmy.
Welcome back to Nerd Alert. And we have one of our favorite segments.
I got to be honest, there's really no real news.
It's not news. We're forcing news on you.
But we wanted to talk about Star
We're
Wars.
pulling a Fox News, and we're just reporting what we want.
But this is actually true. Samuel Jackson does want a Mace Windu series.
He does.
There's no lies.
Yes, that is factual.
Yeah.
That Sam Jackson's come out and said, how come I had to die? How come you're not telling me a little story?
Well, he's like, I didn't die. Like, he's emphatic that Mace Windu did not die.
Well, now, see, here's the thing, is back when he was in the movie, he still had the power to go, I want a purple lightsaber, George Lucas. So I think he's in that same mindset of, like, what I say usually happens. So I didn't die. No word on Disney or Lucasfilm or anything commenting about him still being alive. I'm wondering if there are people in the office going, God damn it, what the fuck? Like,
but I love this idea. It's like, okay, we literally did not see him die. And obviously Jedi can do amazing things. And he's theoretically one of the most powerful Jedi of all time. I'd love to see Mace Windu a la like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series where he came back and just be like, what the hell's Mace doing?
The only reason I'm okay with him staying dead is you did it with Palpatine, you did it with Boba Fett.
That's true.
And I'm afraid of running into just some exhaustion. Like, I do have to say, as far as like Star Wars and Marvel is concerned, Marvel, I guess, has a bigger catalog now, right?
As far as movies or characters?
Movies and shows.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean,
characters,
sure. Yeah. And I feel like Star Wars has stayed fairly more consistent with what we've got. So I'm just, here's the thing. If there's a story for it and it makes sense, I'm totally here for it. I just don't want them to suddenly be like, yeah, sure, he's alive. Let's figure that out. You know what I mean?
I would love to see
In Filoni, we trust.
I'd love to see him go the route of being dark. Like, not a Jedi, not a Sith, just like,
almost
like Ahsoka, but the other way.
Wasn't that the whole thing? Like, they kind of touch on the book, the Mace Windu book, right?
Shatterpoint, it's not canon, but
it's not anymore.
Awesome.
Okay.
It was, he really touches on the dark side, especially with his lightsaber techniques and all that.
That was part of who he was,
and
right?
he was able to see, using the Force, points in time that would alter the future. And one of the ones they talk about is Attack of the Clones. When he goes into the arena, if he had killed Dooku at that point, everything would have changed. But he wasn't able to, so it went the way we saw. That was his Force ability, the Shatterpoint. What I love is, though, he was always dancing, towing the line, pushing it, almost like Qui-Gon Jinn, except Qui-Gon was never given the counsel and the master and all that as far as the importance of Mace. And I really feel that's how Palpatine was able to somehow be in the center of Coruscant and take over as emperor. Oh, we never saw it coming. It's like, well, yeah, because you guys had established 1,000 years and you forgot to really pay attention.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that character Mace Windu being like, motherfucker, we didn't see this coming. What the hell is wrong with us?
I would love just the first official motherfucker in Star Wars. Like, I am okay with that.
That'd be awesome.
Like you said, I just want it to make sense.
Yes, I agree with that.
I'm here if it seems doable and they think they can do something cool with it. I'm 100% down for this.
And maybe because I do enjoy, not that I don't enjoy all comic books, but I enjoy the Star Wars comic books. They're
as do
awesome.
I. If you're not reading like the new Marvel imprint that's all official canon, they're very good. Both Darth Vader series have been awesome.
So good.
Both Star Wars series have been great. The Bounty Hunters has been cool. Dr. Aphra's been fun. Like, and check them out.
That's the things they get to revisit is characters that we will probably never see in a movie again.
Yeah.
And we get to see those, like Black Sun. That was awesome seeing that in the Bounty Hunters.
Who's the, in one of the final, like, I think it's episode 9, the body they find of the pilot who has the...
Oh, Jesus, yes.
Because he's showing up in the Vader series a lot.
Because he was in, he was the assistant to Vader, although he did not want to be his assistant.
Yeah, well, he originally was like sent to kill him, right?
Yeah.
God, why can't I remember that guy's name?
Of Bestoon. He was of Bestoon every time.
He's got the dope mask. Yeah. He fucking rules, and it's cool seeing...
Because he was in the Luke Skywalker Lando novel.
Yes.
Where they were trying to track down the Wayfinder.
Yeah. I'm either way. What I'm saying is they've done really cool things with a lot of characters you probably won't see.
So I'd love to see Mace Windu.
Well,
if he was going to do that, to do that and come back, obviously Samuel Jackson would get screwed and not actually be in the series.
Well, saying it out loud, they are releasing a Mace Windu comic.
Interesting.
So maybe they're testing the waters to see if there's, a following behind that.
Well, even at that, I mean, I get the CGI, but the de-aging process with Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian was amazing. So even if we get like an earlier story of Mace, that would be
But
interesting.
do you think that'll last 9 episodes or 6 episodes versus
Don't care.
Like, I don't give a shit.
I don't care.
Well, speaking of things that could be filmed, was filmed, whatever, they have finished filming the 3 live action shows that are going to be upcoming. Well, yeah, that aren't in production or whatever.
Correct.
Right?
That are like done filming.
Andor season 2, Acolyte season 1, Skeleton Crew season 1.
Yes, which I'm stoked because Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm have made it a point that we're going to be more protective of the property. Awesome. But that means we get less. Damn it.
But I'd rather it be better.
But I want more.
Well, I do too.
More.
But
Kylo Ren.
What's cool about all of this is Andor's going to be great. I love season 1. I'm interested to see what Skeleton Crew is all about because I'm not sure when that takes place or what it's about. But the Acolyte is what has me most interested because this will be the first time they are doing a movie or show outside of what we know as the Skywalker saga time. I understand a lot of this is branching off from there, but I mean, this is the High Republic, which has only been in novels and comics so far.
And that's a great point, is that is all Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It was not created during the George Lucas era.
That's
all Disney. I started the books and hated it.
Really?
The Nihil was like the dumbest. It's like nihilism. Oh, we're just going to name it Nihil. And I really like Charles Soule. So I was like, really, dude? This is what you came up with? But I'm revisiting it because I love Star Wars and I really want to love this. And it's better upon second reading, so to speak. So I'm very curious to see how they pull it off in live action.
Well, the other thing too about Star Wars is they're so protected for so long officially. Like there were a lot of people who are diehard fans who never messed with the expanded universe. So a lot of this is like daunting to them, I think. And
that's a good point because as far as I know, now the novels went crazy and I just lost track, but they would always go post the Star Wars we knew. So post Return of the Jedi for the most part. They might tell like the Lando smuggling and Han smuggling early on, but they really didn't go hundreds of years in the past, which is what the High Republic is. So
you had like Knights of the Old Republic, stuff like that.
But that's true. That's true.
But it wasn't as fully
Bane.
Yeah. Well,
never mind. I lied.
Well, no, but there was still a difference between that because a lot of that was just like a few things. It wasn't a super crazy
fleshing out the whole universe.
And they never really were worried about drawing lines to current day. They were just kind of telling you stories, knowing they would fill this in eventually. But like with the emphasis they're putting on the High Republic, you're going to see a lot that is going to play directly into what we know with the Clone Wars and Episode 1.
And I'm like I said, I'm curious. I want to like it. I do enjoy it more. Have you read the books?
I have not. I've been reading the comics. I have the books. I'm still reading my Thrawn books. I know. So they are. I read books a lot slower than I read comics. So.
Well, that was part of my problem is that I got into the comics and they were dealing with some awesome storylines, and I should have read. And I recommend this, and anybody who's watching, look up order you should read High Republic. Because I was jumping into things and I'm like, why does Scar already have his arm missing? That's what I'm going to have to do. What the hell? And then the Light of the Jedi explains where his arm went. And you're like, oh, well, that makes way more sense. I had no idea and I didn't realize. It was just like, I'm jumping on the comics, whatever. But it makes more sense when you read it as they release it and say this is how you should do it. But the comics, again, with the High Republic, have been fantastic. I just thoroughly enjoyed them.
But I mean.
So I'm excited for the Acolyte.
I think it's going to be really cool, and with the great season 1 of Andor and Ahsoka, I do feel like they're getting in the groove of what the fans are wanting to see and telling stories that the fans want to get behind.
Speaking of which, we do have 2 more properties that are in development, and they haven't started filming, which is Ahsoka 2, and I think the one that we might just have a huge party and watch all the way through, Lando.
I'm down to do that.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds great. Like,
Donald Glover returning as Lando. Like, I know people are like, "Oh, I don't want to see these characters recast." It's like, shut the fuck up. He as Lando, like, was Billy D. Williams. It was just beautiful how he channeled
he
that.
did. Well, I mean, I think that just also shows like how good of an actor,
Oh, yeah.
Donald Glover is
Yeah.
to begin with, and I think what we were talking about, like the passion of the character.
Yeah.
You can't tell me like he didn't grow up thinking Lando was
yeah.
the shit. Like everybody thought Lando was the shit, and it's like you get to be young Lando. It's fucking incredible.
And
like
Kevin Smith makes this joke in his movies, but it's 100% true. He's like the first amazing black character in sci-fi that was like, dude,
yeah,
we want to be him.
Everybody
And he
did.
was a ladies' man, like Colt 45. Like, it was just that persona throughout. And even when he's trying to save his business by making a deal with the Empire, you still like him.
Well, because you see like what it actually did to him. Like
Yeah.
on paper, he's like, yeah. And then when he sees it happening in front of him, he's like, I fucked up.
Yeah,
like I
can't-
did the wrong thing.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, all right, we're with you, Lando.
Yeah.
You redeem yourself.
I'm
I'm stoked to see Donald Glover return as Lando. I'm disappointed that obviously it won't be Billy D. Williams, but I'm glad he got to revisit it with Episode 9.
like, guys, we're getting to a point here. They're gonna have more stories to tell.
Yeah.
We don't know what the future's gonna hold with Star Wars. I think we all need to just accept that we might see other actors playing these roles, and that's okay.